Hey everyone, this is Homer Star Fan 13, and I really enjoyed doing my physical Switch release video, so I've decided I'm going to do the digital games as well. And this one's quite harder to record because I've got to actually sort of show the capture cards. I've just got this headset that my brother's got. It's not going to be the best quality, but like I've not really done this a lot, so again, this is all just a learning experience for me, and the videos for my physical stuff got really good views. People seem to enjoy it, so I thought it's best to just sort of continue it, sort of finish it up and do the digital stuff. This might be 2 videos as well, because I'm hopefully making sure the videos aren't too long. I try and go for at least 30 minutes, so yeah, let's just get into it. So what I will say first off is, if you have, so the Switch hasn't got the best memory space, so you're going to be buying a lot of micro SD cards. Here's what I would do. When you buy all of them, get in the group section, make sure you realise how many games you have on which SD card, and make groups for those SD cards. Believe me, that is going to be so much helpful in the future when you've got so many SD cards and you want to know how many games you've got in each. I highly recommend you do that. It will be so much easier. So yeah, I'm just going to do this in order of the SD cards. This one's, unlike the physical one, this isn't going to be in a specific order. I'm not going to be like grouping up anything. I'm just going to go through the games as they show up and sort of explain, talk to them about it. So yeah, to start off with the games that are on the memory space. So this one's just on the system straight away. Okay, first off, so we've got Use Your Words. This is like a sort of, this is quite a fun game. It's a party game. It's kind of like the Jackbox party games. I think it was made by Brentalfloss, you know, the old YouTuber, if you remember him, the one who did the songs with lyrics. And it's a really sort of fun little game. It's like, there's like different rounds. Like they've got a round where like they show you a game. So yeah, they show you like a so they show you a film. I think it's in a foreign language, and then you have to like, they'll show you the subtitles, and then the next subtitle will be blocked out, and you've got to like put the next subtitle on. So that's really clever. And then they like show you like they show you a picture of a newspaper, and you've got to like write the headline. So yeah, it's really fun. You can get really a lot of fun little games there. So that's a really good. If you've got one a sort of new game to play, like maybe if you're sick of Jackbox, I really recommend this. And I think they're doing a sequel as well. So yeah, very good. Next up, Blast Master Zero. I think this was like one of the first Switch games released. Like this was one of the first digital games. I've not played a lot of it, but it's pretty decent. Again, remake of Blast Master on NES. So yeah, if you like those games and on those retro revivals, yeah, pretty good. Starting off already with one of my favourite games on this system. So this is, okay, hard game to pronounce. It's like VVV. So 6 V's. This game is fantastic. It's sort of like I guess you kind of like puzzle platform type thing. It's like, it's one of these hard games. So like the whole thing is that you can't jump. You can like squat gravity. So like you go from the floor to the ceiling, and then you've got to use those to sort of like make some really tricky platforming like challenges. Really good, very hard, but I really recommend this. It's really fun. Probably I would say this is one of the most underrated like indie games out there. Like if you've never played it, highly recommend it. It's really, really great. I think it's on like loads of things. I think it's on Steam as well. It's probably on PlayStation and that. So yeah, really recommend you get that. It's really good. These are all the games I've already done. Guacamelee. This is like I've not put much time into this one, so I don't really have a lot to say. I think it's just another one of those like platformy games. It's got like wrestling in it, so that's why I bought it. You'll be seeing a lot of wrestling content on this. Just pre-warning you. But yeah, it's pretty decent. I've not put much time into it, so maybe later. Maybe in a few, once I put more time into it, I can say more about it. This is the first of many collections you'll see. This is the kind of Castlevania collection. I sort of briefly mentioned this in my physical release about how weird of a company Konami is, because they make some of the best collections on modern consoles, and this one's really good as well. It's got all the classic Castlevania stuff, you know, Castlevania 1, 2, 3, even the Game Boy stuff, and yeah, they're just really great. I mean, to be quite honest, I bought this only for Castlevania 4. I love Castlevania 4. It's probably one of my favourite retro games. So I bought it only for that, and I've not really put much time into the other games, but one day I will. So yeah, really good. I've got Putt Putt Saves the Zoo, one of the many humongous entertainment games that have been put on the Switch. I'm hoping to get a sort of a collection of these games. I think this is like the best Putt Putt game. This is the one that I really liked. I remember years ago I watched someone let's play this on YouTube, and it's just these games are just really charming. Like they're nothing like taxing. They're just really sort of fun little point and click games. And if you've got children, this would be really fun for them to play as well. Yeah, nothing else to say about that one. This is interesting. This is Pokemon TV. This is kind of like a streaming service type thing. It's got like episodes of Pokemon on there. I've not really used it. I just sort of downloaded it because it was free. Because I think you get like free episodes, Pokemon episodes for free. So yeah, if you like Pokemon anime, then yeah, pick it up. Alright, now we've got the first SD card. So I think I briefly mentioned this in my video as well, in my physical release. This is the second season of Batman the Telltale game. So I've got the first game on physical, and this is the second game. This is the second season. Yeah, if you like the first season, you'll like this as well. It is good. I think this one's got the Joker in it, and Harley Quinn's has got more interesting characters in it. I think Riddler's in the first episode. So yeah, if you like Batman, you like Telltale games, yeah, pick this up as well. Nippon Marathon. This is a really wacky sort of Japanese style game. I think it's like one of those games that's meant to be based on like Takeshi's Castle and that, if you remember that show. Yeah, really fun. Just very bizarre, very strange. Yeah, pick it up if you can. I don't think it was that. I think there's a physical release of this as well, so yeah, really decent. Of course, Cuphead. We all know about Cuphead. Really great. I had this on Steam originally, and then I managed to get I went to the Switch version. Yep, very difficult. Haven't beaten it yet. Really hard, but just so charming. Everything about it, the way it's made to look like an old cartoon, is really, really great. Yeah, if you haven't got this yet, really pick it up. Although you will be nervous. You will die a lot. Shantae Half Genie Hero. Not played a lot of this one. Again, this is another one of those games which I had on PS4, and then when the Switch version came out, I upgraded to the Switch. Yeah, it is good. I just need to put more time into it. I just struggled with it. And again, Way Forward are really good developers. Again, not really much to say about this one. This one's really great. Tetris 99. This was the Battle Royale Tetris game, which is really, really fun and really addictive. Again, if you've got Nintendo Switch Online, it's free. So, yeah, just... it's Tetris. What do you want me to say about Tetris? I said the same thing in my physical video. It's like, what do you want me to say about Tetris? You all know Tetris. Speaking of the game you probably all know, Celeste. Again, everyone talks about this game. Maybe a bit too much. Actually, that's not fair. I mean, everyone loves this game, and I think that explains why people talk about it so much, and it's brutally difficult and all that. I've not put a lot of time into it. I'm sure I will at some point, but yeah, you all know about Celeste. Crypt of the Necrodancer, the Switch version. I don't know why it has to say Nintendo Switch Edition. Like, it's obviously the Switch version. Like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm going to buy this game. Oh, which version is it? It's the Switch version. Obvious. Yeah, it's like sort of rhythm-based puzzle game. Like, no, not puzzle. Like dungeon crawl. I think is what you would call it. Like it's what's the genre again? I can't remember. It's like procedurally generating the stage, so everything is like. Oh, I thought I had it. I'm sorry, I can't remember. It's like it procedurally generates, so each gameplay is going to be different. Each playthrough is different. It's very hard. And I think I only really bought this because if you know the YouTuber Family Jewels, who does like lots of really cool like remixes of video game songs. He has like his like that he's in this game, like his songs are in it. So yeah, really good as well. If you like rhythm stuff, you'll like this. Another collection, Contra collection this time. Again, similar to the Castlevania one, I only bought this for Contra 1, the NES game, because I really do love that game. I think that's genuinely one of the best NES games. It's like that and Mega Man 2 are my favourites. But yeah, it's got loads of stuff in there. It's got Contra 3, the NES, Super C, it's got the Mega Drive one, Road Course, and it's got the arcade games as well. And it's even got the European version, some of the European versions where it was another Probotector because they weren't allowed, they wouldn't allow you to shoot humans or something about like, I think it was like Germany after the Second World War or something. I might be making that up completely, but I think it's something to do with that. Yeah, if you like Contra, perfect collection. This is another interesting one. Cell Damage HD. This is a port of a PS2 game, if I remember rightly. Yeah, really fun little like vehicular combat game. Really decent. You know, if you want like a sort of underrated game on here, highly recommend you pick that one up. It's got loads of like really cool characters in it. It's like kind of like got a cartoony style to it, which is really cool because you know games are more realistic nowadays. So it's always nice to see a more cartoony style. Here's another really famous indie game, one of the early indie games, Super Meat Boy. Yeah, there's so many indie games out there that people might kind of sleep on Meat Boy because it's kind of very early on, but it is still a good game. I think I made it to like I can't remember what level I'm on. I might be on level like World 3 or World 4. I can't remember. I think it's only World 3 because it's a very difficult game. Although annoyingly, the Switch version has a completely different soundtrack, which sucks because Meat Boy has one of my favorite soundtracks ever. Like the music for the first boss is one of my favorite video game songs of all time, and it sucks because this version doesn't have it because there was like a pay dispute or something. There's ways you can find out about this stuff. Another collection. Told you there'll be loads of collections. Mega Man Legacy Collection. Again, kind of bought this just for Mega Man 2. Actually, I had this on PS4 originally, and I've got Mega Man 2 on the 3DS. You know, if I ever do my 3DS collection, you'll see that. But yeah, really good. Again, all the NES Mega Man games. I'll definitely play through them at some point. I've only really played Mega Man 2, which is fantastic. Mega Man 2 is really good. But yeah, and it's got loads of little like extras in it. So yeah, really good. Now here we go. One of my favourite games on this system, Sonic Mania. And Sonic Mania Plus, actually, because it's also got the DLC. Fantastic. You know, genuinely, I think it's like my second favourite Sonic game. It's either this or Generations. They're both so great, but back to Mania, like, this is fantastic. Like, no nostalgia bias or whatever, you know, I didn't grow up with those games, so I've got no bias for it. It's just fantastic. Genuinely brilliant. Legit the best Sonic game I think they've... Well, yeah. Like, and it's why it so upsets me that, like, the later Sonic games... Like, again, I mentioned this. Come out the same year as Sonic Forces. The fact that this game and Sonic Forces come out in the same year is baffling. Because you've got one game which has got so much love into it. And you've got Sonic Forces that just has... almost no effort put into it whatsoever. Like, it was on autopilot. That was what people have said. And please be good, Frontiers. Please be good. I mean, apparently I heard that they were going to do Mania 2, but for some reason Sega stopped them from doing it, and I don't understand why. Why would they not have Mania 2? Because really, genuinely one of my favourite games on this system, and one of my favourite games of all time, perhaps. But if I ever did if I ever do a favourite games of all time list, it's going to be between this or Generations for the Sonic representation, because they're both really good. Okay, so this is a wacky one, you might not have heard of it. God, how do you say that? Genki Yaba Runner Anniversary Edition. Don't you know, this is another game I had on a system. I had this on 3DS, I think it was called Too Fast for Gnomes. It's basically an auto runner, and it's actually not terrible. Like, it's actually, it's pretty interesting. So, like, you play as a gnome, and, like, of course, you're running, and then you've got, like, different, power-ups too. So, you have a sort of parachute that you can use, and you can, like, drop down quickly, and, like, there's those little things you have to sort of learn to get to the end of the stage, and then there's little things that you can collect in each stage. Yeah, not bad. If you're looking for, like, some hidden gems on the Switch, I'd recommend it. It's not bad. Speaking of, and, of course, now we have a hidden gem from a... What's the opposite of a hidden gem? A well-known gem, I guess? Undertale. Not played a lot of Undertale, but, like, you all know Undertale. Undertale is, like, the most famous indie game of all time. I don't really need to say much about it, just that I'll definitely get into it at some point. Death Road to Canada, this is another, like, this was quite popular sort of when it first came out, but people don't really talk about it as much anymore. But yeah, really good. It's kind of like a sort of zombie apocalypse game. You can, like, create your characters, and then you got to go through, you got to get to Canada, and, like, you got stops on the way, and you got to try and build up your stuff. Yeah, really good. If you've not got this game yet, highly recommend it. Really fun. So now we've got the first of many retro games on here, the Sega Ages stuff. So this is Virtua Racing. Just a really cool arcade-styled racing game. Similar to the Daytona USA games, which I really hope they put on here because Daytona USA is fantastic. Yeah, decent little arcade racer. Like, these are the great games to have because it's really cool seeing like these early styled racing games. And I love arcade races. You'll see a couple of our arcade races on here. And yeah, it's really decent. But now let's move on to this. This is actually one of my favourite games of all time, Shovel Knight. Legitimately, it's in my top 5 favourite games ever. I just love it so much. And this is coming from someone who's only sort of played the main game. I haven't done any of the secondary missions, like the side content. This is all from the first, like the original Shovel Knight gameplay, and it's brilliant. Legit favorite, one of my favorite games of all time. The retro style is great. The music is great. The gameplay and all that, just great. If you've not played this yet, you need to. It's fantastic. Next up, Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon. That's like a Castlevania styled game. So this is the 8-bit retro version of it. This isn't the main one, which I think is called like Ritual of the Night. I haven't got that one because I'm not into Metroidvanias that much, but I really do love classic games. And yeah, I definitely played this a lot when it first came out, and I really did enjoy it. I'm sure I'll go back to it at some point. But yeah, it's really, really good. This is the Mutant Mutants collection. This was like another port of a 3DS game. It's interesting because I never actually played. I never actually had this on 3DS. I had the demo of this on 3DS all the time, and I really did enjoy the demo. But I never actually bought the full game, which was weird. So when I saw this on Switch, I picked it up, and I guess this is like not just the first one. I think this is like a load of games. It's called Collection, but I've only really played the first game, and yeah, it's really decent. Another like little sort of smaller sort of indie game where you like have little like challenges to do. Yeah, really fun. Again, I don't have as much to say about other games as I do others. Like, I have nothing to say about this one. This is one of the many arcade archives or Neo Geo stuff on here. King of Fighters 94. Yeah, just traditional fighting game stuff. Don't have much to say about this. Just that, yeah, King of Fighters and all that. Lots of the SNK. Again, this will be the first of many Neo Geo stuff you'll see on here. So let's move on to the second half. This is the other SD card I've got. Okay, what we got here? Okay, so next up we got Skullgirls. Yeah, I really like Skullgirls. It's like another really cool fighting game. Just lots of like really cool like designed for the characters. And yeah, like just really fun. I don't really have much to say. Just a really fun fighting game with really cool designed, really cool characters. And I think they're still working on it. I know there was like a lot of issues with like the creator or something, but I think that's all sorted now. At least I think so. I'd hope so, because this is a really good game. It would suck if the like development behind it was really like crappy and that. But yeah, really good. Again, this was another one I actually had on PS4, but then I re-bought on Switch because I bought a lot of PS4 games on Switch because obviously with Switch with the handheld stuff, it's just nice to have a lot of games on here, so you've got lots of games to play, sort of when you've not got, you know, when you're like away in that. Oh yeah, Broforce. This is the most manly game of all time. Yeah, this is actually really fun. It's like a, what would you kind of say? I guess it's like another like sort of retro-y, platformy type game, and you got loads of like characters based on like traditional action heroes. So you got like Arnie from like Terminator, got Sylvester Stallone's Rambo. And you've even got like Ripley from Alien and loads of other characters. Like there's Mr. T's, B.A. Baracus from the A-Team. Just thousands of characters. That's like the most fun bit about it, is going through all the characters and finding them all. Yeah, really cool. I really recommend this. And yeah, it can get quite difficult in like later stages, but it is really fun, and I really recommend it. I'll do this one first. So this is the Ace Attorney trilogy. Absolutely love Ace Attorney. The one on 3DS is one of my favourite games ever. I've only really played bits of the first one. I haven't touched the second two yet. But yeah, love Ace Attorney, and I'm hoping we get another Ace Attorney. Well, there is another Ace Attorney game on here. I haven't got it yet, but yeah, hopefully Ace Attorney franchise continues. Alright, so I'll just briefly talk about these ones. The Nintendo Switch Online games, like Nintendo Switch 1. So I'll just quickly talk about these two. This is the NES and Super Nintendo Switch Online games. Below later you'll see the N64 and Mega Drive games. Don't really need to say much about this one. It's just got loads of NES and Super Nintendo games on here. And I don't really want to go through all of those. If you want to see like, for these like collection things, you want to see like all the games that are on there, I'll leave a link to my Backloggery, which where you'll see a list of all of my games. So if you want to see what games I have, then I'll leave a link to that below. But yeah, these are really cool. Just nice to have all these really great games. So like got Mario World, Mario 3, Donkey Kong Country. But this is how I beat all the Donkey Kong Country games. Is I use these Nintendo Switch Online stuff. Yeah, I'm really happy that they put more games on here. Okay, so this is a great way to show how much of an idiot I am. You remember how in my last video I showed that I had the Mega Drive collection? So even though I had that, I still bought this game. Even though Sonic 2 is on the collection. I did that because I'm a friggin' idiot. Like, legitimately, I bought the game and it wasn't until, like, right after I bought it, I was like, oh wait, I've already got this Mega Drive collection. And even worse, I've got the Mega Drive, like, Switch Online. So now I have 3 different versions of Sonic 2 on here. And I'm probably going to buy Sonic Origins at some point. So that means I'll have 4 different ways of playing Sonic 2 on the Switch. That's just funny, you know. But yes, I mean, I did rebuy it because I love Sonic 2. Sonic 2 is probably my favourite of the classic Sonic games. Although I've not really played Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Like, that's one of the reasons I really want to get Origins, is that I really want to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So yeah, don't really need to say much about that one. Runbow, I don't really have anything to say about this game. I think I've played this like once or twice, and I've never really played it. Like, that's the issue of having loads of games, is that you don't play them because you're like, oh, I don't really, you know, you play them. I don't know what I'm trying to say, like, yeah, you buy loads of games that then there's just some you don't play, and this is one of them. Maybe I used to do like a look through of all these games to find out which games I need to keep and not. Pix the Cat. This is like a really weird like Pac-Man styled game. Sort of really fun. Like you play as like a little cat and you have to collect all these little things. And then you go into like the more you then when you collect them, you then go like further into the game. It's really quite fun. It's got like a really nice style to it. Like, yeah, if you want like a really fun like Pac-Man styled arcade style thing and you don't want to play Pac-Man, yeah, I'd get that one. That's really fun. Enter the Gungeon. This is another one of those like roguelike sort of games. Again, I played a bit of it and it's decent. I think I only bought this because I remember when the Runaway Guys did their, I think it was the Runaway Guys Coliseum, like the first one or the second one, they played this game and it looked quite fun. So I decided to put it on my wish list and I eventually got it when it was on sale. But yeah, it's pretty decent. Ukulele, again, I mentioned the second game earlier. Again, not really played much of this one, but I want to give it an open mind because I know a lot of people didn't like it when it first came out, but I want to give it an open mind and I want to see if it's actually not as bad as people say it is. Yeah, I'll give it a go when it eventually. Walking Dead, this is season 1. Yeah, really fun sort of game, Walking Dead. Lots of like, again, I've only played like I think the first episode of this, but I've like watched the Let's Plays of Walking Dead and yeah, the story's really good. Obviously I'd say season 1 is probably the best of the seasons. Obviously when it came later on it got a little bit too like, I don't want to say silly, but it wasn't as exciting as the first season was. I mean, yeah, this is the best one. I think it's got the best sort of main character. And yeah, like, I think if you're going to buy any of them, I'd say just get this one because it probably is the best one, and it's obviously what got them their popularity and when it all went crashing down after that. Cook Serve Delicious 2. This is like a nice little sort of cooking game. I think it's like you're like in a restaurant and you've got like cook stuff and you've got like use little like button combinations to make the stuff. I have the first one on Steam. I actually think this is one of the games that work better on like the PC because you've got like the computers with you and you can like find it's easier to like get the stuff. I think on console it's a little bit harder because you make sure because it can be harder to like find like sort of the buttons. Like I think it's like, for example, I think in the Steam version, like when you have to like get a drink, it's like be like, oh, C for Cola and then like D for diet, like O for orange. Like that's a lot easier than like having to look down and go like, oh, you got to place these buttons for that. Maybe I'm just being silly, I don't know. But yeah, I think these are fun little games. I think there's a third one as well. Yeah, if you like sort of cooking games, I'd recommend that. Oh, here's a nice little indie game that doesn't get as much love. Downwell. It's kind of like an endless sort of game. So like you're playing this guy who's going down a well, hence the name, and you just sort of like keep jumping on and shooting people and like getting like money so that you can buy more stuff. And then I think it's like it's an endless run. I don't think there's an end to it, or at least I haven't gotten to it. So it's like one of the things like every time you play, and then after you go past each section, then you can get like a little upgrade. Yeah, really fun. I think it's quite cheap as well. I don't think it's that expensive. So yeah, really recommend it. Hatsune Miku Project Diva Mega Mix. I absolutely love Hatsune Miku. I think I love all the Vocaloid music, so when I heard this game was coming out, I instantly purchased it. I think this is like the first time I pre-ordered the game digitally, because I love her. This is one of my favourites. And although I will say, biggest issue with this, mountains of DLC. There's so much DLC with this game. I think there was like 2 season passes, and I think they just released another season pass. And it's so annoying. I think I've got this on PS4 as well. And from what I can gather, it's the same game, just different like graphics. Like there's a more cartoony style to it. And like all like the DLC are things that were on the PS4 version. So it seems like they've cut songs from it to sell later as DLC. Not a fan of that, you know. As much as I love Hatsune Miku, I haven't bought any of the DLC yet and the DLC is expensive. It's like £20 for like around £20ish for each DLC, like each season pass. And this wasn't a cheap game either. I think this was like a fully priced game as well. So it's just really crappy that they've resold it. They've made all the DLC so much more expensive, as the game. Yeah, real shame. Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 Plus, apparently. Yeah, this is just nice. It's Pac-Man, you know, just an updated version of Pac-Man. Not really much else to say. It's just Pac-Man. Heavy Burger, this is like a... what would you call it? It's kind of like a retro-y sort of game. You'll see a lot of retro games on here because I consider like Nintendo Switch to be my retro console. Like, I always try and buy retro games on the Switch because these are the most... They're those sort of fun. With it being Nintendo, I just find it to be a more retro-friendly system. And yeah, it's just like it's kind of like a combination of 2 games. I think it's called like Heavy Barrel and Burger Time, and you have to go through like different. I think it's Data Race. So you go through like different Data Race arcade games. Like you got to like go all the way from one to another, and then that's how you win. It's like kind of like I don't know how you would sort of say it. It's like you got to like get a piece of money or something to the end of it, which is Bad Dudes. And yeah, it's really fun, really nice little. We'll say there's not a lot of like single player options in it. It's mostly a multiplayer styled game. So maybe only buy this if you've got lots of friends to sort of play. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Yeah, big Star Wars fan. I mentioned this earlier, but like in my other video about Star Wars. Yeah, don't like and I will be a defender of the prequel movies. I think they were pretty decent. And even if they're not, pod racing I will always defend. Pod racing is the best part of Star Wars. Blame my hands on the hill right now. So this is like one of my... This is like a port of an N64 game. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think people said that this version's not great, but I've not really seen any issues with it. I think it's pretty fine. Obviously, I prefer the PS2 Star Wars pod racing game, but this one's pretty decent as well. It's nice, and again, nice to have a little like one of the classic games here. So here we go. So this is Super Mario 3D All Stars. This is this was the celebration for Mario's 30th anniversary, I believe, which was Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy. Yeah, these are good. It's a good port, but obviously it's hard to like really like. It's hard to talk about this game without talking about the other controversy about this, which was the whole that you can't buy this anymore, or at least you can't buy this digitally. Like that was my thing. I bought this digitally straight away because I think this was released during the pandemic. Yeah, it was like 2020, so the COVID pandemic was sort of at its highest point, and didn't really feel like I was going to be going to any shops at that point. So this was another game I pre-ordered. I just pre-ordered it straight away from the Switch Online store, so I just had it straight away, just so I didn't have to worry about it. But now I go to CEX and I see this game all the time, so I didn't really need to worry about rushing for it. But yeah, if you can find it cheap, like a CEX or like one of those like digital, one of those second-hand shops, yeah, get it. It's just nice to have all these free games on there. Mario 64. Yeah, it's aged, but I still think it's decent. I think you have to remember it was the first sort of 3D game on there. Mario Galaxy is one of the best Mario games of all time, and Sunshine is also there. I am so sorry for all Sunshine fans out there, but something about Sunshine I just do not like. I have tried to get into this game so many times, and every time I do, I just find myself not liking it. One day I will sit down and give it a proper go, but every time I try to do it, it just doesn't work. Sorry. So RPG Maker. I think this is like this isn't a proper RPG Maker. I think this was like a free download where like you can download other people's RPGs. But I've not really done much of that one. I think this is why I don't really need on here anymore. I can probably get rid of it. WWE 2K Battlegrounds. This is the only WWE game I have on here because screw buying 2K18. No, I won't talk about that. Yeah, so this one's... Yeah, this is another digital game. I actually bought this when I was on holiday. Funny enough, I was on holiday today. I was on holiday and they had some online. They had the online there, so I actually bought this for some reason because I really wanted a wrestling game and I didn't pre-order it. But yeah, this one's not good. This is like one of the weakest wrestling games, except for 2K20. That's obviously worse. But it's just not fun. It's just they've got loads of characters in it, but they all play the same. It's not interesting as at all. Like, also this has got the similar issue that I had the Crash Team Racing, which is that you can't. It's got always online stuff on it, so you can't like take it away because you have to like buy. Again, like it's got it's one of those games that's designed around microtransactions. Like you have to unlock all the characters, you've got like grinds to get them, and it takes ages. I think in the end they had just released. You could just buy something that just said unlock all the characters, and I just did that because I'm not spending all that time doing that. Yeah, it's just really dull and boring. Yeah, not really much to say. Outrun, Sega Ages, another Sega Ages one. This is the original Outrun. Would love it if they released the other Outrun, the 3D one. I've got it on PS2, but yeah, just very decent. Another just really cool arcade racing game. Fast RMX. This is another fun. This is like a sort of F-Zero styled game. If you're waiting for F-Zero to come on Switch, if you're waiting for a new F-Zero game, get this. Yeah, I've not played much of it, but it's very fun, very fun. Gunman Clive HD. I think these were also 3DS games. I've beaten these two, and these are actually pretty okay. Can't remember much about it. It's got like a nice sort of what would you really call it? Like a sort of hand drawn style to it. I can't remember much about this game. I think I bought it and I've beaten both really quickly because they're not long games. It's got like 1 and 2, but yeah, really they're not bad. I think again looking for some underrated games on the Switch, I'd pick them up. Here we go. Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 Deluxe. I mean, what can you say about Angry Video Game Nerd? He's a legend on the platform. You probably know him, and if you don't, he's probably inspired somewhat. He's probably inspired everyone on this platform. Even if he hasn't inspired someone directly, they've probably been inspired by someone who was inspired by AVGN. He changed the game on YouTube, and the fact that they made a game for him is really good. Yes, so this is 1 and 2. I think I like Adventures 2 more, but they're both really fun games. This has also got an extra mode into it as well. It's just this is a game that you're only gonna like if you're a fan of AVGN. And I remember when the first game came out, it was really hard. I've had it on Wii U, and it is really difficult. I think they've made it easier now, so it's not as like, in the words of AVGN, bullshit as the others. I might censor that. Sorry, I'm not. I don't know if I'm gonna be a sweary channel or not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like decide later. So that might just be blurred. I'm sorry. But yeah, really, really fun. Really good games. I think, again, like I said, you're only going to enjoy it if you're an AVGN fan. If you don't know anything about AVGN, you're probably not going to enjoy it. So, Mario Brothers 35. I would like to say how much fun this game is and how you should pick it up right away, but you can't, because this was another part of Nintendo's limited release. You can't, and unlike Mario 3D All-Stars, which you can still play, you can't play this game at all. This was only released for it was 55th anniversary, apparently, I messed that up. But yeah, you can't play this game anymore, so I'm not even going to say anything about it, because there's no point, because you can't play it anymore. Final Fantasy VII, this is the original Final Fantasy VII. I have Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I really liked. I really liked the remake, so I thought I'll buy the original one as well. But I've not really played much of it, but I'll play it one day. I'll get into it at some point. I think I really just bought it because I had the remake, and I really liked the remake, so I thought, maybe I'll see what the original one was like. This is one of the Jackbox games. I don't know what's in this one. I think I can see it's got Fibbage in it. That's really fun. And so I've got a lot of Jackbox games, mostly on PlayStation. So this is just like, so it's got the Fibbage, which is like really cool. So like I think you have a question, and then you've got to like try and come up with a lie to that question, and then the real answer comes up. So you've got to try and fake people out with an answer that you think is going to be right. And it's really fun. I think they've also got like a personal one as well. So like they give you questions about you, and then you have to sort of say like, give an answer to it, and then they've got to try and guess what the answer is, whilst also trying to fake out other players. Probably my favourite of the Jackbox stuff. Yeah, really, really cool. If you've got lots of people, if you've got lots of friends that you like to play games with, I think I'd really recommend these. These are really fun. Again, 2 more Nintendo Switch Online stuff, N64 and Mega Drive. I mentioned this earlier in my Mega Drive collection video, but the problem with the Mega Drive is that most of the games that I have, because I have the Mega Drive collection, so a lot of the games there just aren't really exciting to me. There are a few. I think they've got Strider on there, and I think they just put Earthworm Jim on there, which is cool. So it's nice to have like it's nice to have they added more new games to it. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of the games there are just stuff that don't interest me because I've got the Mega Drive collection. Yeah. Will say though, just hold on, I've clicked the button. No, sorry, we nearly went in. No, sorry. Yeah, I think N64 is definitely my favourite of the stuff, especially with the latest games they've announced. They've just announced the Mario Party stuff. Super excited to have those on because I really want the Mario Party games. They're so expensive now. So yeah, I really love. I mean, and also you need these. I've got the expansion pack for these as well, which is more expensive, which is a shame. But yeah, but you get the DLC as well, so it's not too bad. Coffee Crisis. I think this was like a Mega Drive game that was like made like a few years ago, and now they ported to Switch. Again, I've really not played much of it, but it seems okay. Guilty Gear, this is like the very first. I think this is the first Guilty Gear game. If it was a PlayStation game, which I didn't know, I thought it was a Switch. I was like a Super Nintendo thing, but yeah, I think I played a bit of it and I enjoyed it. But then there was like these weird attacks that just kill you in one hit, and I hated them. And I think I rage quitted after a while because I was so frustrated with it. But yeah, I'll definitely play more of it at some point. 80s Overdrive is just another like arcade-styled racing game, sort of in the Outrun style. But yeah, really, really good. Arcade Trio the Punch. Alright, does anyone remember classic PBG? Because he did a video on like weird Japanese games, and he did this game, and ever since that video I've been fascinated by this game because it just looked so weird and really fun. Thankfully, not that long ago, they finally put it on Nintendo Switch. This was announced like ages ago, and it finally got added as the arcade archives. And yeah, it's a really fun game. It's really weird and really silly, but it's really fun. If you want a random sort of arcade archives game, I'd really recommend it. It's really fun and really silly. Yeah, really recommend that one. And lastly, despite the last two of the video, Portal 1 and Portal 2, this was part of the recently released companion collection. Yeah, they are both fantastic. If you have not played Portal yet, this is the time. If you've got a Switch, if you haven't played Portal, this is the time. These two games are so good, especially Portal 2. I think Portal 2 is even better than the first one. Portal 2 takes everything that Portal 1 like introduced and makes it better, and introduces new concepts as well. I actually just recently beat these games because I was so much into them, and yeah, these games are fantastic. Definitely buy these games. Portal 1's not that long. You can like literally beat Portal 1 in like a day. I think I almost did. I almost did beat this in like one day. I think it was like 2 days or something. But yeah, and Portal 2 is also fantastic. Definitely get this game if you've never played it. What time am I at? So we've gone past the 30-minute mark. I'm going to end the video here, and I'll go through the other two in the next video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.